Okay, so you want to go deep on Animal Farm, huh? More specifically, part 6 through 8.
That's right.
We got this high school lesson plan here. Let's tear it apart.
Sounds good.
See if we can squeeze out maybe like, I don't know, some extra insights that Orwell hid in there. This stuff about satire and propaganda, like how those two things kind of work together
Yeah.
to like show us like the nitty gritty, like the truth about power and all that.
Yeah. It really is amazing, isn't it, how a book written, back in the 40s during World War II
Yeah,
still rings so true, even now.
it's true.
Orwell, he was really shaped by what went down in Russia, the whole revolution thing, and then Stalin coming into power.
Yeah.
And you can totally see that, like, woven into the story of Animal Farm.
It's so true. Yeah, it's like, when you read about those animals taking over the farm,
Right?
it's kind of like you're stepping back in time. But what really blows my mind is how he, like, takes this simple story, right, and uses it to make this huge point about, like, how easily even good intentions can get, twisted and turned into something, well, not so good.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's what makes Animal Farm so powerful.
Right.
On the surface, it's just talking animals.
Yeah, yeah.
But underneath, it's
Yeah.
this blazing critique of totalitarian regimes.
Yeah.
And how dangerous power can be, especially when it's not kept in check.
It really makes you think, though, right? Like, imagine if the Russian Revolution had actually, like, worked out the way they hoped.
Right.
Like, what kind of book would Orwell have written then? Would it have been like this hatchy animal utopia
Yeah.
instead of this, like, warning tale?
Who knows?
It's crazy to think about, right? Okay, but let's get back to this lesson plan.
Okay, yeah.
You flagged this part about propaganda,
Uh-huh.
and man, that's something that feels like more relevant than ever today, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
We're just drowning in information these days.
Oh, from every direction, it seems like.
Yeah, and it's like more important now than ever to be able to tell what's real and what's not.
And what's just trying to, pull your strings.
Yeah, exactly.
Orwell knew that, like, better than anyone. How propaganda could be used to control people, to get them to do what you want. And Animal Farm, it's like the perfect example of that.
Remember that part
Mhm.
where the pigs start like rewriting history?
Oh, yeah.
Saying that Snowball was like working with the humans all along?
Total scapegoating.
Yeah, classic move.
Happens all the time in history.
Right. Someone messes up, gotta blame somebody else.
Shift the blame, make people look somewhere else.
So nobody notices what's really going on.
Right. Works like a charm.
And it worked, didn't it? I mean, the other animals, especially the sheep,
Oh, those sheep.
they bought it. Hook, line, and sinker.
It's almost like it shows us, how easy it is to fall for this stuff.
Right.
Especially when someone's playing on your
Or
fears.
prejudices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that.
This Celeste plan, it talks about all sorts of different propaganda techniques.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking, like, man, I could think of, like, a real-world example for each one.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like Orwell's insights, they're, like, timeless,
Oh, they really are.
Like, they apply to everything.
Like this one, the plain folks technique.
Okay, yeah.
Remember how Napoleon slowly starts acting like he's, just one of the animals? Even though, let's be honest, he's the one running the whole show.
Oh, totally.
Even changes where he sleeps, so it looks like he's not any different from them.
But it's all fake, right?
Whoa, yeah, just a facade.
But it works.
Oh, it works.
People trust him. His power grows.
Exactly.
It's crazy how sneaky these techniques can be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Orwell really shows you how it's done.
Mechanics of it all.
Yeah. Do you think, like, part of what he was doing was, like, trying to make us more aware so we don't get tricked so easily?
Oh, I think so, for sure. By showing what the pigs are doing, he's kind of giving us the tools, right?
The tools, yeah.
To see it when it's happening to us.
Like a toolkit for critical thinking.
Exactly.
She's like, don't be a sheep. Think for yourself.
Question everything.
Yeah, that's it. And you know what? Speaking of questioning things, remember that part where the 7 commandments start to change?
Oh, yeah.
Like, out of nowhere?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where, like, the satire, it gets really good.
Oh, it's so brilliant.
Like, all animals are equal turns into all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
You're right.
It's so ironic.
It's like classic Orwell,
Yeah.
He uses humor.
Exaggeration.
All of it to show how hypocritical the pigs are.
Right. They're preaching about equality, but
Like they're living high on the hog.
taking all the best stuff for themselves.
Exactly.
It's like he's holding up this mirror,
Through all of us.
to human nature, showing us how power can go to your head.
Yeah. Even when you start with good intentions.
You end up turning into, well, a tyrant.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the pigs, though, right?
No.
I mean, Orwell's saying something about the other animals, too. don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Like they go along with it, right?
They're part of the problem.
It takes two to tango or
I
whatever.
mean, that's a good way to put it.
Those sheep,
Oh, yeah.
they just blindly follow whatever the pigs say
They're the perfect example.
of how easy it is to manipulate people.
With propaganda.
Fear.
All of that.
You know, I always felt bad for Boxer.
Oh, Boxer.
He works so hard.
Loyal,
Wow.
yeah.
To a fault, almost.
Yeah, and then they just, like, toss him aside.
Sad.
It's heartbreaking.
It really is.
It's like the ultimate betrayal.
It's that irony again, you know?
Right.
The ones who give the most, they get hurt the worst.
Yeah.
Orwell's showing us that even the best of us can be used.
And abused.
Exactly.
Well, it's, like, scary, right?
Makes you wonder who you can trust.
Yeah, both in the book and, like, in real life.
Right.
That's what Orwell wants us to think about, though, right?
He wants us to be skeptical.
To question everything and to figure out for ourselves what's really going on.
So we can make better choices.
Absolutely.
Man, this is already making me see Animal Farm in a whole new light.
Really?
We've just scratched the surface.
I know, right?
There's so much packed in there.
It's amazing how much he fit into this, like, relatively short book.
Okay, but I want to go deeper. I want to see how he actually does it.
You know, how he uses those techniques.
The satire, the irony, all of it.
Yeah, let's get into it. It's like one of the things that makes Animal Farm so awesome, right, is how Orwell mixes that satire with irony.
Yeah.
Creates a book that really, like, makes you think.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like he wants us to laugh at how crazy it all is.
Right.
But at the same time, he's showing us these really dark truths.
Yeah, you know what? I never really thought about it like that before. But you're totally right. There's this dark humor there.
Yeah.
That makes you like chuckle even when you're thinking about how messed up everything is.
It's a tough balance to strike.
It really is.
Like, think about those pigs walking around on two legs.
Right.
Or the animals working so hard on that windmill just to see it get destroyed over and over again.
Yeah.
Orwell uses all that crazy stuff to show us just how bad the leadership is.
The hypocrisy.
Yeah, the corruption, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's saying, look how ridiculous this is. Are they really falling for this? But then, it's not so funny when you think about how we do the same stuff in real life.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we fall for the same tricks.
All the time.
Yeah. Okay, but that brings us to theme.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the big message Orwell's trying to send us with this whole satire thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that lesson plan?
Yeah.
It was all about, like, how important it is to figure out the theme.
You got to find the theme to really understand what's going on.
Yeah. It even gave us, like, those 4 steps to do it.
Yeah. Those steps are great for any book, really.
Right. They make you think deeper.
Not just about what's happening.
But, like, what the author's trying to say.
What they're really getting at.
Okay, so step 1, we got to figure out the topic.
Right.
Like, what's the subject, the big idea that Orwell's exploring?
Well, in Animal Farm, it could be a few things, right?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there.
Like revolution, for one part.
Harbor, social inequality.
Oh, yeah, and definitely the dangers of, like, totalitarianism.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there.
Yeah, it's like all these ideas all mixed together.
Right. Okay, so what about the tone?
Right. The tone.
Like, how's Orwell talking about all this stuff? Is he, like, super sad?
Yeah.
Hopeful?
Well, we know he's being satirical.
Yeah.
But there's definitely this, like, this underlying feeling of, like, pessimism almost.
Pessimism, yeah.
Like, he's not so sure that things can really change for the better.
Like, he doesn't believe revolutions can really fix things.
Yeah. It's almost like he's saying whoever takes power, they're just going to end up becoming the same kind of tyrant they fought against.
That's dark, man.
Yes.
But, the way this story goes, it kind of makes sense.
It does.
Okay, so that's tone. What's next?
Next, we got to look at the evidence.
The evidence, right?
Like, what in the book actually supports this idea?
This whole power corrupts thing.
Exactly.
Well, there's the commandments, right?
Oh, yeah, the commandments. They keep changing.
And it's like all the animals' rights are slowly disappearing.
Right. Little by little.
The pigs are getting greedier.
Are more powerful.
More powerful, yeah.
Yeah.
And anyone who disagrees,
they get crushed.
It's like, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, power corrupts and it leads to tyranny.
Right.
But hold on, what about the other animals?
Oh, good point.
Are they totally innocent in all this?
That's a good question.
Or are they, like, playing a part too?
It's easy to just blame the pigs.
Yeah, they're the obvious bad guys.
Right. But what about the sheep?
Oh, yeah, those sheep.
They'll just believe anything.
They just follow along.
What about Boxer?
Boxer
Works himself to death.
doesn't even question anything.
Yeah. It's like Orwell saying that we all got to be careful.
We all have a part to play.
Yeah, we can't just let things happen.
If you see something wrong,
You got to say something.
you got to stand up for what's right.
Yeah, even if it's hard.
Exactly, even if it's scary.
Okay, so big question time.
Okay, hit me.
What do you think the main theme of Animal Farm is?
The big one, yeah.
Like, if you had to sum it up in one sentence.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is, right?
Let me think. Okay, how about this? It's all about how tempting power is and how it can corrupt even the best people, turning them into tyrants and oppressing the very ones they were supposed to help.
Whoa, that's good.
You think so?
Yeah, that's really good. It's like the whole point of the book in one sentence.
Orwell would be proud.
He would.
And it's so relevant, you know, today. Like, it's happening all around us.
Yeah, it's true. This has been really eye-opening.
Really?
Yeah, I'm seeing Animal Farm in a totally different way now.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's not just a story.
It's a warning.
Yeah, a warning about power, about critical thinking.
Everyone should read this book.
Yeah, seriously. Everyone. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? Like a book written that long ago, and it still feels like it's talking about stuff happening right now.
I know, right? It just shows you how smart Orwell was. He really understood people.
And how power works.
Yeah, power. It's like Animal Farm isn't just about these, you know, dictators and stuff.
Right.
It's about all of us, really.
Yeah.
The animals are like different parts of ourselves.
Our good and bad sides, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Like our hopes, what we're afraid of.
The stuff we're weak about.
All of that.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Like Boxer, right.
Yeah, Boxer.
Works his tail off.
Loyal, dedicated.
Believes in the cause.
But the pigs, they just use him.
And then what about Benjamin?
Oh, Benjamin. The donkey.
Yeah. He sees what's happening.
He knows the pigs are lying.
But he doesn't do anything.
Just keeps quiet.
Like he's given up.
Yeah, just resigned to it all.
So is Orwell saying, like, we're all kind of responsible?
Yeah, maybe. Like we can choose to fight back.
Or just let it happen?
And our choices, they make a difference.
Like, he's telling us to wake up.
To pay attention.
Yeah. Don't just be a bystander.
Get involved.
Yeah, especially now, right?
Now more than ever.
There's so much propaganda out there.
Fake news everywhere.
Everyone's fighting.
It's hard to even know what to believe anymore.
That's why it's so important to, like, think for yourself.
Like we were saying before, critical thinking.
Yeah, see through the lies, the manipulation.
Don't be a sheep.
Exactly. Question everything.
And then, you know, have the courage to stand up for what's right.
Even when everyone else is going along with it.
Exactly. That's the hard part.
It is, but it's important.
Because, you know, even when things seem really dark, there's always hope.
Yeah.
People are strong. We can make things better.
But it takes work.
Awareness, bravery.
And we got to be willing to fight for what's right.
Even when it's hard.
So, okay, one last thought for everyone out there.
Okay, let's hear.
We've talked a lot about Animal Farm. Right?
Yeah, we really dug deep.
And all the propaganda stuff.
How it connects to the real world.
Yeah. So, think about it. What's going on today?
In your own life, maybe.
Where do you see these same things happening?
Is power being abused?
Is someone trying to trick people?
Are there people being treated unfairly?
It's worth thinking about.
And then, even more important, what can you do about it?
Even if it's just a small thing.
Every little bit helps.
Because Animal Farm isn't just about animals, right?
It's about us.
It's about the world we live in.
And the choices we make.
Yeah, that's deep.
Deep dives for deep thoughts, right?
That's what we do here.
So keep exploring, keep asking questions.
Don't be afraid to think for yourself.
And we'll see you next time.
For another deep dive.
Yeah.
Reading.